Welcome. Hello. Thank you so much for tapping in, tuning in with I, Enchantress, the Babbler, on our revolutionary rise that is happening here at this time. How are you? Now, sending hugs, sending loves to all of you beautiful souls out there right now in your space, meeting me here in this space. And together we're quantifying our now moments in time. And we're going to breathe in through our nose. And we're going to blow it out through our mouths. Right? We're going to inhale peace. We're going to exhale peace. We're going to inhale, I am peace. And we're going to exhale, I am peace. I'm going to inhale peace. And I'm going to exhale peace. And I'm going to imagine with my mind's eye as I take my deep breath in through my nose, right? That it's traveling, it's percolating. And as I breathe in, it's rising up. It's going through the center, passing my third eye. And it's riding to the top of my skull, entering here from my crown bold. And I just exhale from this space. And this time I loop that breath back and I breathe back into that space as I travel slowly, because I'm going to meet at the top of my crown and then I'm going to start going down to my spinal column too, right? I'm breathing in and now I reach the occiput area of the back of my head, right? Lower there, and then you can exhale from that space because you're filling up your entire, like your brain hemispheres, right? We're imagining it like that, right? Because you're breathing in life. I'm getting emotional. You're breathing in life to your cells because you are the gatekeeper of this vessel divine that you are gifted at this moment in time that makes you passionate to be alive. And so, the going can get rough and tough, but you have the breath of life in you. And so you take a deep breath, intentional, because this is your cellular upgrade. And you breathe into your heavenly space. I am peace. To exhale. Breathe it in. I am peace. Exhale. And you cleanse every space of bodily space that you occupy. You breathe that cellular upgrade alive. You can grow in the meditation of your breath work. Start off, especially if you're just starting off here in the beginning, with one target in mind. And what many lack in this world, and this is why I say peace, because it's what many seek to want or don't have, seek to have, but they don't seek to have that. They seek to have other things, lacking peace. So I feel like in all my personal hells, right? Because we all have our own personal hells that we can grow to tell. In the moment now, though, when you're going through that, what you're going through, you are in no position to heal a space that's broken from a disrupted space. And so the place that you want to get to in the cleansing, which you can navigate, it's not cutting, it's not short, it's not cutting, it's not, I know, it's not cutting the line. It's navigating. Why? I don't know how to be a healed person in my broken spaces. And so what I can breathe into my space at this moment in time is peace, knowing and then understanding that the breath is peaceful. And so it's not a lie. Tell me where the lie is. When you're breathing in peace. Do you see the paradigm shifting of thought, of expansiveness, of mind blown, of how you can take it there? Knowledge is power, and it can be empowering. You are the key, but what is it that you do with that knowledge, and what breath of life you're going to breathe into your system, overruling any kind of position or experience that might be wanting to take over, but it will not. Because look at this. We're going to fly in on Merkabas. Oh, listen. Before I even hit record, it's like, I have so many decks beside me, and I'm like, yo, how long you think I'm going to be on? And then like sit down, get comfortable, make it as comfy as it can be so that you, the human, doesn't get, like antsy, because I be getting antsy pants. I get antsy pants because I don't sit still. So whenever I do record, like understand that from the moment of when I get up off my bed. So sometimes it might take me some time to get up off my bed, right? Like why not enjoy that space, right? It takes a long time. It took me a long time where I can just get up and enjoy that space, right? And so, being in that rush and buzz, like you gotta get up, you gotta go, you gotta get up and go. Like, no, right? No, we're shifting that. You're shifting that. You're changing that mindset. And you're gonna get there, even if you're not there yet. Patience, my dears, right? It's like fairy godmama lands. I cannot begin to tell you how grateful I am for the fairy godmamas I've met in my life. Wizards, magicians, like, powerful beings that, they come into your life in many different scenes, in many different ways. And now that we have this social media craze and how we can even just navigate and communicate in this kind of leveling and this kind of way, it's like, wow, this is dope. You know what I mean? There's a lot of hope because now you can reach. You can reach. You are reaching. And it's going to help you understand your Merkaba system, your plane of existence. Because your plane of existence, whether you speak to someone or not, has reach. For you are the void, birthing alive. And yes, it is painful. But it's also beautiful. It's beautiful. And it's beautiful to witness. We've waited long a day for the humans to awaken in this kind of way. It's a marvel to see. You know what I mean? Hey. So we're breathing. We're breathing into our space because we're traveling, beautiful souls. We're traveling. Thank you for meeting me here. Thank you for meeting us here. Because there's an us here, and this is the part I've held back on too, But yeah. Hello. So, welcome aboard. This is quantum space travel. Welcome aboard. I'm so glad that you're here. And we're also gonna talk about these because the last one of the, I don't know which one it was, but I don't know what it was. Wait, what was the name? I don't even know. But that's why you should watch all the videos, okay? So that when I say something like this, you'd be like, oh, I know what she's talking about. I know that they can be long and whatever the case may be. Watch at your own space and place and all this kind of stuff. No rushy. But watch them all because then you'll know what the fuck I'm talking about. But so I was messing up my charcoal pyrites and trying to explain because this one here is a charcoal pyrite. This one here is the pyrite, right? And this one here is peacock ore, but peacock ore is a charcoal pyrite. So what you can't see, because of the camera, is that if this was to be cracked open, that's what I was trying to express. This is what you're going to see inside, even though it looks like the pyrite on the outside. That was why I wanted to show it to you all in one so that you can see what I was talking about. Right, but we're going to talk about, right, because we're doing our candle love and candle healing. Oh my goodness. This is Mercury's pre-shadow, like already, like whatever the case may be. This is when the human talks, not when the soul speaks, right? But yeah, so welcome aboard, like we said. There's many people navigating this ship and they just hop right in and they just take over. I'm like, okay. But whatever the case may be, channel divines. So here, channeling school in every kind of way, right? When we're perfectly imperfect and beautiful can be, but authentic, we have to be to ourselves, like untruth. And it's gonna make, like, even I, like, because I have a lot, like the human here speaking, right? Have a lot of pride, and I have made many mistakes in my life, right? And I've also done wonderful things and stuff like that. But we can carry so much pride. I carry so much pride. So it took a very long time for me to own up to even my own personal mistakes because I could do no wrong. Because, this imagery that we have to paint to the world, like even when we're going through it, like the conditioning of having to always, like when I was going through shit or when I'm going through stuff or things like that are happening, like on the outside, nobody will ever fucking know, right? Because you keep up this front, you keep up this strong, you keep up this, like you're this wall of, you got to hold down the fort, and so you do, right? Even if you fuck up and you do shit too, right? And it's just like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, and so you come far, but you don't give yourself enough credit and all this kind of stuff or whatever. And so, sorry, that probably sounds disgusting, but you see what I mean? What was I saying? The human, because, but what was I saying? Right? There's just so many different layers to how many. Oh, whatever. I need to pause for a second. The whole point is, until you are raw dog in your authenticity for real, the shift won't happen. The other kind of shift, the off balance key. And so it could be rough and tough getting yourself to that final stripping of fuck this shit. Fuck you too, and fuck you too. The final, like, whoa, cut off. Down to even apologizing before for things people did to you. And looking at it like a loss or something like that. Like, or like the twisted view of the victim or the person hurt by their conditioning and how you can see it from its fucked up perspective that won't allow you to let that shit go, right? To let it go, right? To let it go because that's fucked up, right? So navigating from these spaces, all we need to have is a mental shift of an uplift, of a paradigm shift. Because once you have that manna, that alchemy, that's gonna be the mind expand. I see now. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I could see all obstacles out of my way. Right? It's going to come from the mental paradigm shift. It's like walking on a treadmill, right? And you pick up speed, you pick up incline, you pick up speed, you pick up incline, you pick up speed, you pick up incline, and you get into that tunnel vision focus of a idea, thought, manifestation, goal, whatever it is that you're going to center on, you're going to, because you're feeling it in your body, you're feeling it in your legs. Oh, that's like being on the elliptical or whatever the case may be. You're doing all these kind of things. You're working every kind of thing. There has to be a shift because you're walking into so many different portals of dimensions because you're actually taking the step, that which you're creating. So now it's intentional creating, intentional manifestation, intentional purpose. But when you're clearing the environment, it could still be very confusing. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I think I see. So what catapults you into the next round is your authentic flavoring. Real deal, Holyfield. So it's nice when you get to this space. It's like, breathe with me. Breathe in through your nose. And travel that, baby. Travel that breath as far deep as down as you can go. And then notice where your breath naturally stops. A lot of people short breathe. Like, this was a fascination of mine. I remember when I still lived in New York. When I still lived in New York and I used to ride the New York City public trains and stuff like that. One of my thankful that I am, you know, as much as I hated my father growing up and all this kind of stuff, and I found him to be a tyrant, he was abusive and all this kind of stuff, and you know, you could say these kind of things, I'm not there anymore and all this kind of stuff, and he would be very quite offended if he heard me speaking like this as of right now, like, why do you need to bring that up? It's still like this, because nothing has changed for those kind of environments and people that don't grow along with you. That's why it's important to really learn to let go, because part of the evolution of you is realizing that a lot of the people that you have in your life at the time of your spiritual awakenings, and you'll have many in one lifetime, like death after death. I can tell you, I have died a billion times. Like, you understand? Like, it's a rebirth after rebirth after rebirth after rebirth. You die a grueling, grisly deaths. And it's in different multidimensional levels, different layerings, different slayings, some of them don't even involve people. Most of them don't involve nobody. It's just you. Because once you get past the superficial, the other layerings of the people, the externals, he only got you. That's that phoenix too. But he only got you. The only way is up from here. But we can keep going down. It's a two-way street in this developing thing, right? So growing up, my dad was heavy into martial arts. So like, even too, like, he used to like tyrant, like he used to like hurt me in front of people without even it looking like it hurt me. I'm not doing nothing to her. Meanwhile, he was doing pressure points and like martial art type shit. And I'm just like, like, He's like, I'm not doing nothing to her. That type of shit. You know? So there are many depths of forgiveness and letting go, especially if you've been hurt. My argument as a young child used to, because, you know, people would try to gaslight you and be like, oh, other people have it worse. Oh, I'm sorry. Got my ass beat. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, other people have it worse. Okay. I don't give a, like, you don't care at those moments. It's like, why? And then it's like to make you feel bad. Like, you know, pain is pain. So my argument is to be like, why are we comparing and contrasting pain to pain? Pain is pain. Hurt is hurt. Loss is loss. What, we're going to have levels to this devils? Like when people tell me about my animal, oh, it's just an animal. Excuse me? Pain is pain. Hurt is hurt. Love is love. Right? You get what I mean? So I've been arguing this shit since a child. Like, how dare you try to and I didn't know the word gaslight back then, so I wasn't saying gaslight. Sometimes I didn't have the voice or the words to describe. But I had techniques. And it's time, 35 plus years later, to see the development of those techniques be how it has transformed my entire experience, and how grateful I am that even though it was hell, there were these techniques, there were these things, there were these other activities I found myself engrossed in that proves helpful to my overall absolute health, wealth, stealth of a motherfucking development. And granted, it may have been the slow route because I was going through it. But then you go through it. And then when you go and you analyze the main key factor of what was the final let go? It was the final stripping down of, I don't want to be anybody else but me. And you get tired of your own shit, of doing it to yourself, overly people pleasing, needing to be validated, needing approval, trying to have that conversation with the person that's just not in the evolution, trying to convince people to see that which they are not in the evolution for. Wasting your breath. So no. I breathe into my space. Peace. I am peace. And so that's part of my evolutionary development. I had a very early on childhood experience of a lot of spiritual awakenings due to my upbringing, abuse, and isolation and neglect, and whatever the case may be, and early on experiences of near death and dealing with death really young, and not wanting to live. This is something to be here. So we're going to hold space for everyone who needs the space. So just let it go. God, let's put it in here. Throw it into the universe. And let it be swept and carried the fuck away. Let us be good to ourselves so that we can be good to one another. Let us be the breed of seed of exampling that we need to be, because that is the position that we be on, a peaceful, joyful one, a joyful experience. We are the joy. I am the joy of this world. It is an honor to be in my own presence, of space, of place, that healing space. It feels good to be in your own electromagnetic field, that it's felt everywhere else too. When people stand next to you, it's like, oh, you feel so good. Damn, Skippy. Thank you. Enjoy it. I share. You can't take it from me. I share. I am peace. I am love. I will not be used. I giveth as I am, but you cannot take from me. I am strong. I am wise. I am love. I am peace. I release all that does not serve me. I wake up and remain true to myself in all that I do. But you already know, because I cry and I have like tears all over my face, which I did my makeups, and now I can't breathe, so I need to blow my nose, and I'm gonna not do that to you. It has been told to me that I sound like an elephant when I blow my nose, but shamed I will not be. But still, I'm not gonna do that to you. I'll be back, yo. Did you miss me? Okay, hello. So, all right. So let's. I didn't even freaking I don't even know what's going on here. But yeah, we are breaking clear. We're sounding clear. We are clear. This is always a light code activation, channeling for those that need it, want it, receive it, and are open to receive it. That's for you. No matter who you are, what we be, it's about the greater good of us all, and that's the reign of train of wave. I'm riding always. So when the human wants to step in and be a little bit in her ego or anything, the trine is greatest good for the all. And so we always do what is right. You know what I mean? And so I love that. I love that, especially for those of you that are here, because that's what it be like. You want what's good for the greater good of the all. And you should be fucking proud. Right? That's nice. All right, let's talk about peacock ore. Do you see how beautiful this is? Right? So peacock ore, right? So peacock ore has a very happy, go-lucky energy that can bring more joy into our spiritual practices. It reminds us to not take ourselves or our spiritual life too seriously. Come on, look, you like it, you're gonna get it, right? Look, I don't sell crystal stores. I'm not selling this to you guys and all this kind of stuff. I'm sharing with you my own shit, right? So, but this is all in the same family, right? So this is the chalcopyrite and this is the pyrite, right? So look we're learning variations of crystals. See, we're upgrading, because usually I go one crystal at a time, but now I'm bringing a family of the same variety of kind, but different in their own stuff. So you see how that's also highlighting of how how we each are coming from the same soul family, right? We're all, no matter who were the first babies, okay? It doesn't matter where we come from. When we say, oh, my ancestors are your ancestors, duh. Why are we beefing? And our ancestors are through us anyways. We are the motherfucking ancestor. What's your problem? What's your problem, sis? What's your problem, broskies? Can we all just motherfucking get along? Like, stop this shit. This shit is Earth's, not even Earth's song. It's that human conditioning that got you all fudged up in your system thinking it gotta be one type of way and all this kind of stuff. Nah, can we navigate great? Because the greater we are together, the greatest we shall be. Like, what can you not see? That we're all a different kind of variety of the same mother fudging thing. Okay, don't get me fucking started. Don't get me started. We all look the same. I'm sorry. You want to talk about, oh, you this, you this, that. That. Yo, next life, you come in this, that, blah, 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 and be the ancestor. You don't see? Ay. Okay, it reminds us to not take ourselves or our spiritual life too seriously. Like, what's up with that? Okay, it whispers to our heart that the divine wants us to laugh and dance whenever possible. So, like, what do you think about that? That's amazing. I know, right? But let's go a little bit deeper. Let's see what this is, right? Let me see which one is piquing my interest most. Oh, look it. Let's read that. Let's see what that is. Oh, wait. We're gonna go back. It is also known as the stone of peacock ore or bornite. I guess that's look at, we learned something else new. It's also referred to not just as peacock ore, but bornite. B like boy, O, R like Robert, N like Nancy, I like ice cream, T like Tom, E like elephant. What field of industries do you think I come from? Many, by the way, but many of my experience, especially when I was raising my daughter, comes from the fashion industry. But anywho, so peacock ore or bornite displays a beautiful array of colors similar to the bird it is named after. Peacock. Oh, I got my peacocks. Oh, I should have brought my peacock. I am a peacock. I have even this huge what is it? Painting. Like, I'm talking about the painting's taller than me. It's like huge, of a huge peacock that was gifted to me and stuff like that. Absolutely stunning peacock. Okay, yeah. So peacock. We'll talk about the peacock spirit animal for this message here too. But I still got my dragon. You know, I like to share. And if there's anything that you see that you like and stuff like that, if you check my description box, there's an Amazon affiliated shop of mine that I'm sharing things that I absolutely love, that I believe that you would love to, that you can go check out and stuff like that. And if it's here and I got it from there, then it'll be shared over there, obviously. But whatever. Communication is a two-way street. Anyways, if there's something that you're interested in and you want to ask me a question, then ask me. So, right, peacock ore or bornite displays a beautiful array of colors similar to the bird it's named after. It is known as a stone of happiness, since just looking at peacock ore can make you smile. Yeah, look at that. Look at, if you needed a smile, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. For you make people smile. And you try to make people smile too. You like to make people feel good. If you're tapped in, tuned in with me, you like people to feel good. Me too. I like to put smiles on people's faces. I like to surprise people. So one of my love languages is like, surprises and love and gift giving. Like, I like to give. I like to surprise. I like to do silly things. Like, that's my love language. And, whatever. And so making people smile might be a thing that you do. And so here for you, the crystal wants to make you smile. You see, it's starting happening. What are you ordering it now? Good. Peacock Ore wants to be added into your life. But remember, there is no distance here between us. And so you're getting the healing energy and the metaphysical benefits of the Peacock Ore that we're sharing with you here now too. Granted, go get your own. But for this time being, in the space that we're sharing together, you feel it, right? Yeah, I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I could see all obstacles out my way. Right. I could breathe fire on all the negative that I must release today. We make up songs here. Did you check out my enchanting musical 333s? I shared one recently. So definitely go check out the playlist, the Enchanting Musical 333s, where I share with you my eclectic musicality, taste, and trust that your musical playlist will expand, because there will be at least one song on each of those playlists that you can be like, I like that. Even if you don't tell me, you'll be like, I like that. I'm gonna listen to that song too. It's okay. I already know. So it's okay. And I'm satisfied with that type of leveling of claircognizance, right? And that's where we're developing that here too. If you tapped in, turn on, tune in with me, part of my journey here is to help those reach this leveling of confidence in your claircognizance, in your claripotencies, because hello, darling, as you should, like my daughter says, right? So yeah, I love that. All right, so creativity is enhanced, right, by Peacock Ore's vibrancy. It uplifts our self-esteem, right? By dismissing any doubts, fears, or self-limitations we may have. This increases our morale and our willingness to try new ideals and experiences. Peacock Ore shields us from outside negativity, encouraging us to focus on our inner voice. Peacock! Come on, Peacock, when we do it, especially if you're a serious person and really reserved. Let me tell you something, especially when I worked, right, when I had my daughter, like I didn't want to appear, like just because I had my daughter young and stuff like that or whatever, I didn't want to appear to be loosey-goosey, because I'm not. And, I do live a celibate, abstinent lifestyle and all this kind of stuff. And that's the type of exampling I have been for her and things like that, or whatever the case may be. But, I was very reserved. Like, even though, yeah, I'm a good time, I'm fun and all this kind of stuff, or whatever the case may be, that's only when you know me. But to the rest of the world, like serious face, barely smiled, like resting bitch face, like whatever. And then when people would get to know me, they'd be like, oh my God, I you're so nice, like, or you're so like whatever. But like my outside exterior was not this whimsical, although my behaviorism, yes, I'm whimsical, I'm silly and all this kind of stuff. You can't hide that. That's the way that I am. Like, but the freedom with the whimsical, like this is like a long time coming, right? Because it's like, like the naked, like it's like the stripping down, right? So I'm telling you, like, I would do, like, I'm silly, I'm naturally silly, but part of my conditioning and the abuse was to meet monsters that stripped me of that. Like the monster that could have almost killed me, he would, in his abuse and torture tactics, he would be like, oh, you're Miss Save the World, huh? Are you gonna save the world? Oh, what are you gonna save the world and suck? And all this kind, like, it was horrible. Like, oh, you're gonna save the world, oh, and what about me? What about me? Yeah, like a monster. And then like when he would have like when he started losing his mind, like towards the end, when it was like almost done and stuff, he would be like, oh my God, I'm going to hell because I heard an angel. And mind you, I wasn't even into like I wasn't public, I didn't have no social media. Like I never had like a MySpace, or like I came in on social media years, like when everybody already had the experience and stuff, and things like that. So you might be dealing with monsters in this world, and then those attachments, right? Those attachments of those behaviors and those patterns and those ways of handling kind of things may stick on you. So even after like not being with this monster anymore, who wanted me to be a shell of my own existence and hide me from the whole entire world, right? And God forbid if I shined in any capacity, I paid and I suffered for it. So you just you dim yourself so that you don't have to suffer, right? So stripping that away takes time. It takes an action from you, right? And the time that it takes will be all up to you, of course. You know what I mean? But it's the stripping, right? So I like this. I like that. I just listen. I don't have a plan like when I go on to record and things like this. Like I just pull whatever I feel called to pull, and I wanted to talk about this kind of stuff, but I just like how it's going. You know what I mean? That's the part of flow. That's the part of going with the flow, trusting your path, your intuition, that what you do and stuff. Like it fits. Right? We should have to-do lists for the task at hand that we have to do, but we should never have a to-do list in terms of, I don't know how to say it, in terms of how everything is supposed to like pan out. Like to-do lists, to clean, laundry, like task at hand and stuff like that. Not get married to a fireman who's a Taurus. You know what I mean? Like, or go to Costa Rica with my best friend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Please, I'm trying to say something and oh man. Because like, yeah, you should go to Costa Rica, but that should be your plan. And know that I'm going, right? Like this is where it gets tricky with the laws of the universe and the laws of manifestation and things like that. This is where a lot of people fuck up, right? Because it's like be general but be specific. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Like be general, but be general and specific at the same time. But like, it's just like, I don't know. I hope it makes sense what I'm saying. Like, part of your evolution prayer, like when people want to stick people to them, right? Like your future, yeah, you want to be surrounded by those you love. That's general. Those you love and care for, and that love you and care for you. Keep it that general, because if you get real specific and be like, oh, it has to be this person, this person, this person, this person, you're tying bond, like you tying people that have their own free will, and it makes it complicated in the energies of the circuitries of the universe, because their path may not align with yours. And so then this is where complications come in. And then this is where like a lot more hurt can occur when you hold on that kind of way. So when you're speaking your future, which should be like you should be clear on what it is that you want, so that you can gravitate and magnetize and act upon that which you want, instead of roaming around like with a chicken without a head. Like you should have a plan, and you should know your plan and stuff like that in some kind of way. Or and for me, like I like this is like the way that I explore my chart and stuff like that, and stuff like that. I don't be feeling like I have a plan, like and so like I'm not one to go real detail oriented about. I'm on the whim, like you know what I mean. I do things, and I've learned over time that there's certain things that I do have to plan for, or structure, or be a little bit more responsible about. And so that might be challenging for some of you too. Like, I don't have a plan. Like, I just have to get up, I have to do this and this and this and that, and not much thought into it. But that might be part of your energy. Because you got to remember, all energies exist into this world. So you might feel like, oh, because you don't have a plan, that you lack direction. But maybe part of your evolution is being that level of free. Because a lot of that, having a plan, having a goal, having to live this American dream, or this castle in the sky, is from conditioning. But if we're souls here having a human experience, then the soul knows that it has no bounds, it has no ends, it's infinite, my friend. And so for those of you that are already there, and then you're feeling a type of way because you're comparing and contrasting those people that, oh, you have to map it out, you have to do it this type of way. I've been told that I'm careless, irresponsible, and reckless my whole life. By higher ups, by people that feel like I lack a direction and that I have so much potential and all this kind of stuff. But what am I doing with it? I think I'm doing a lot. I think that the work that I'm doing is motherfucking priceless. And it's infinite beyond what can be seen by the human egoic eye, the human conditioned eye. And granted, I may have lost that perspective in my own personalized human experience, but I've died of many gruesome deaths that kept stripping me down into the nothing that I am, which is something that's just like you. And so I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's enough. And what you're doing, from where you are, no matter what that looks like, is enough. And it's what's needed. And so you take as many breaths as you need. And you take as many steps as you need. And you breathe that all in to your peace. And you keep doing your thing. You know what I mean? Here we go. Babbling again. I haven't even pulled one card. But we can sweet. Keep reading. Okay. All right. So it uplifts our self-esteem by dismissing any doubts, fears, or self-limitations we may have. This increases our morale and our willingness to try new ideas and experiences. Peacock Ore shields us from outside negativity, encouraging us to focus on our inner voice, connecting us to our life plan. It is Connecting us to our life plan is its mission, and the only way to achieve that goal is by finding clarity. Peacock Ore reminds us that our path will only be clear after our mind no longer worries about past wounds or disappointments or fears about what the future holds. And that's another thing that I've realized too in my own personal growth of having to forgive those that were never sorry, and having to come out of that space, even faulting them for that, right? Because bitter don't get us better. It makes it worse. And so when I started really shifting my acts of self-devotion towards that, which I needed, it really was eye-opening. For each of us is going to be different because each of us have different experiences. But just speaking about it generally, you know, so you can get the gist of what I mean, is enough. You know, so I started to realize that these people in my life that I had to distance myself from in order to heal, and I did. I had that time, and still I see them sparingly, you know, in the ways that I'm. It's enough for me. If I can't see them back to back to back to back to back. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know your limits, you know your boundaries, you know whatever. And still to this day, like, let's say if I want to trigger them intentionally, like all I have to do is mention the past. All I have to do is mention the fucking past and these people will pop the fuck off. So nothing has changed. You get what I'm saying? But everything has changed. Because I have changed. And, you know, and so sometimes we have to be that peace. I'm no longer bothered by these people. And it astounds me that it brings me so much joy to know that I can see them. And no matter what they say, it's okay. Sometimes I don't even hear it. Spirit shields me that much that I didn't even hear it. Like, it was just like, did you hear that? Oh, no, I didn't. So you get what I'm saying? So it improves with your acts. They may never change. But the evolution was maybe not for them. Maybe it was always yours. You know what I mean? So I think that's deep. I found that, you know, one of the understandings, and if I say this, people have even tried to, I had to go through the healing process of people telling me that I'm conceited, that I'm like in my ego or something like that. When if I said that people, because of how I made them feel, like, because the way I naturally shine, they have tried to snub me out in horrifying ways that I didn't see that. And still, I wanted to love and acceptance and better treatment. And so that inner child would cry. It's like, damn, why you don't see me for my greatness? Why do you want to fight me for it? And why can't we be great together? I cried that victim cry for a long time of life is so unfair, you know? But life is great. It can seem unfair. But through whose eyes are you seeing from? You know what I mean? So that's for whoever that is for. Oh, fudge. I blew my nose already. And I have to go back out and, oh my God, let me check the time. Okay, all right. I'm gonna fix myself up too. So I don't know how far we're getting, but this is not what I expected. All right, so all right, so where are we reading? Peacock ore reminds us that our path will only be clear after our mind no longer worries about past wounds or disappointments or fears about what the future holds, but instead focuses on the present moment. In addition, peacock ore has the ability to align all of our chakras and strengthens our aura by enhancing each color radiating from it. I know. You know that you're going to get peacock ore. And please, if you do, let me know that you got peacock ore because you saw this video. I love you. Okay, I really do. I know that I do tough love too sometimes. Or it appears that way, but it's not really tough love. It's just honest. It's like my daughter. I tell my daughter, I'm when it comes from a tough love perspective, like when it's something that she needs to hear, and I tell her, and I always approach it from a loving perspective, a respectful one, because I know, like, the other day, like I had like a message for her, and she's standing in the kitchen, she's being her cute self, and I'm like, I have something to say. Like, I always pre-warn too, like, because sometimes people don't want to hear it, right? And she has the right to not want to receive the message, and I'm always going to respect that, and it'll always come in divine right timing. I've learned that, like, I don't need to force a message. It's always going to come when it comes. So I was like, I do have something to say, or whatever the case may be. And so if you're ready to hear it. And so she starts slowly walking away, and she's like, nope, I'm going to my room. Goodbye. And she waited, she didn't hear it. But guess what happens? A short time later, the opportunity presents itself in the right way and in the divine right way. And it got to be said, and it was well received. You understand what I mean? So sometimes if people are not willing to listen, then let them be, because they have that right too. Sometimes, like, even me, like when if I'm made to be triggered or upset, and I'm having an intense, I'm like, I'm not receiving you well at this time, so I would appreciate if we could just stop, right? So that I can receive you well. And you have to respect that space and that place, because I'm being triggered and I don't want to pop off, because that you don't deserve that. That's how I look at that now. It's not that. Before, I used to be like, you don't, like, my pop off came from an ego place. Like, it was like, trust me, you don't want me to go off on you because you don't want me to rip you a new asshole. That was my attitude behind my, I'm helping you right now. If I held back my tongue. Now, look at how many deaths this has occurred. Now it's, you don't deserve that. That's where I come from. Now it's, hey, I'm being a little bit triggered right now, and I don't want to, make it worse. So, because you don't deserve that. That's where my attitude comes from now. So could you imagine how many deaths that took? So many. So many. So many. Before it was like, yo, I will rip you a new asshole. Don't play. So now it's not like that anymore, though. Too, like, it's a time and a place for everything, but now it's a none of those. It's an indifferent place. It's a divine space when I speak, and that which needs to be said, and it's said, and I don't say it in any kind of triggering kind of way. And if someone does get triggered and stuff, that's them. I'll be back. Now I just make funny memes and piss everybody off. Oh well. It's not everybody, it's everybody that needs to be pissed off so that they can have the trigger, so that they can heal past their own stupidity. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyways, all right. So I hope that you enjoyed this about peacock, or do let me know if you get it. So that's the difference. So this is, wait, but yeah, peacock, or hold on. Yeah, it's associated with the crown chakra. Oh, I burped. Throat chakra clearing. I never burp. Okay, well, let that out. The crystal of the rainbow. Origin, Mexico, Peru, Bolivia, chakra, universal, astrological signs, Cancer, Capricorn, right? Peacock ore, also known as bornite, is a sulfide mineral composed of copper, iron, and sulfur. It has a metallic luster, and its color can range from a bright bluish purple to iridescent shades of green, blue, and gold. The name peacock ore comes from its iridescent colors, which resemble the feathers of a peacock. Peacock ore helps to repel negativity. This iridescent rainbow crystal helps to form a bubble of positivity around those who carry it. Just like with a true rainbow, peacock ore is the sunshine that shines through dark and stormy clouds. Peacock ore will help you to see a way past obstacles to a brighter future. Peacock ore is typically found in hydrothermal veins, which are formed by hot fluids that move through cracks and it disappeared. Through cracks and fractures in the Earth's crust. These veins can contain a variety of minerals, including copper, gold, silver, and other sulfide minerals. Peacock ore is often found in association with other copper-bearing minerals, such as chalcopyrite and covalite. So do you understand? So yeah, it's found with chalcopyrite, which is this chalcopyrite, pyrite, and peacock ore. If I didn't confuse you the last time, right? So benefits are positivity, innovation, happiness, accomplishing goals, identify obstacles, meditation. Peacock ore can be used for spiritual purposes at any time when you feel the need to activate and balance your chakras, promote personal growth, or connect with higher spiritual energies. However, here are some specific situations when you may want to consider using peacock ore. Peacock ore for emotional blockages. The properties of peacock ore crystals can help to open and balance your heart chakra, which is associated with love, compassion, and healing. If you are experiencing emotional blockages or feeling disconnected from your emotions, using peacock ore crystals can help to promote emotional healing and well-being. Peacock ore for communication. If you find it difficult to communicate your thoughts and feelings effectively, peacock ore can help you to open and balance your throat chakra, which is associated with communication and self-expression. That's why I burped. Using peacock ore can help to promote clear and effective communication, enabling you to express yourself more confidently and authentically. Peacock ore for spiritual growth. Peacock ore is associated with the crown chakra, which is linked to spiritual connection and enlightenment. If you are on a spiritual path and seeking to connect with higher spiritual energies, using peacock ore can help to activate and align your crown chakra, promoting spiritual growth and awareness. Okay. I love that. 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 I love you. Thank you so much for tapping in, turning on, tuning in with me. If you are here and you have yet to like this video, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Do you want me to stab you with my sword? With love, with love, with love. I'm going to stab you with love. Right? Okay. All right. Before we begin, here we go. Let's see who's up in here. Hi, everybody. Be life path number 1. You can be an Aquarius, a Cancer, a Scorpio. You could be 35 years old. You could be born in 1965. You could be 59 years old. You could be 65 years old. You can be 35. I said it right. 35, 36 years old, 37 years old. You could be a Gemini. You could be a Taurus. You could be a Pisces. You could be born in 1984 twice, 1981, 1982, 1971, 1970, 1985, 1986, 1989, 1980, 1982. You could be 20 years old. You could be 40 years old. You could be 21 years old. You could be 27 years old. You could be 28 years old. You could be 39, 36, 37, 32. You could be a Taurus. You could be an Aries. Yeah, you could be 31, 32. I said 33, 38, 31, 30, 37, 54, 45, 51, 43. What else? You could be life path number 5, life path number 3, life path number 8, life path number 7. Angel numbers 5, 5, 5, 8, 4, 8, 8, 4, 1, 5, 5, 1, 4. Could have been born in 1979, 1997. 211. Could have been born in October. Could have been born in the 8th month or 8th day. I see 888. Aquarius again. Okay, who else? Okay, you could be 37 years old, 36, 35. You could have been born in 1976, 1979. You could be Earth sign. Okay, it could be 39, 36. You can be life path number 1. Be a Libra. Okay, Capricorn, Sagittarius, 1972, 1971. You could have a North node in Capricorn or South node in Capricorn. You could be life path number 4. It could be Capricorn again, Libra again, 1967, 37 years old, 54. You could be a Virgo, 1998, 1997. These years could be significant too, okay? 119, you could have been born on the 19th of the month. Be 50 years old, 51. You have a moon in Sagittarius, moon in Capricorn. Okay. Okay. Okie dokie. Welcome. You don't have to. If I didn't call you or say anything, this is just for added fun. Okay. All right. The most important parts are the whole entire resonance of the messages, right? So we're gonna. Oh, look at those as chakras, right? Okay. Let's see what runes. Right, so this one right here, I gotta look because I'm gonna be knowing all the names of everything. I know this one for sure is Hagalaz. I think. This is Manas. What guys I'm thinking? Okay, hold on. You see that one? No. See it? That's Kinaz. This is Kinaz. Light through the dark. There's an opening. There's an opening. With Hagalaz. Through destruction, natural disaster, a hazard, some kind of drama, right? And then you have Manas. That was right. I was right. This is where you are as in mankind, identity, humanity, right? Humanity. right? So oh, sorry. It's meant to build up ones. But right, because you got Hagalaz here, which is being tested, right? You're being tested. You're being tested. And then you had Manas, which is all about help, cooperation, right? Where you are in society, where your friendships, and even in your own individuality, right? And this is all about improvement. Yeah, so there's improvement with that which you are growing and what you are doing and what you are setting forth through this destruction. Because Hagalaz is always, I used to not like getting Hagalaz. I used to not like getting Hagalaz, right? So what beautiful messages do we have for those tapped in, turned on, tuned in at this time? Master of crystals, right? The master of crystals. The master of crystals. Right? So the suit of crystals relate to pentacles, right? So it corresponds to earth, right? And the value systems and traditions of the past. The suit of pentacles of the tarot had to do with one's material possessions, business, wealth, and aspects of physical health. It still does in these keys, in which the suit is now represented as crystals, the flowers of the earth. From the higher perspective, one of honoring the elements of Gaia and celebrating the elemental energies of this reality, the suit of crystals raises the interpretive bar to focus us on the higher aspects, the ability to manifest spirit into form, creation of abundance and prosperity, and the examination of the true value of possession versus spirit. To Starseed, who understands that you can never possess enough, life is about being enough. This is the most difficult of the suits. Embracing abundance without being addicted to it is a prevalent theme throughout. Clearly, the suit is ruled by the astrological earth signs, and they do portray those aspects of our lives in which career, security, and financial success are important to the seeker. We ask you, the seeker of wisdom, to look beyond into the lens of the crystals for more. It's beautiful, right? This card. Master of crystals. I don't know. Master. I don't know. I guess maybe that one. I don't know. I guess that was it. I'm so confused. But either way, all right, because I wanted to read it from the book here too, but even just how I'm receiving this, right? Like, here you are on earth mastering your crystal, right? But what other messages do we have for those that have been turned on? The Chariot. Love that. The Chariot. The higher self. Read that there. Right? The Chariot and the higher self. And you can see that, right? But I'm turning them all over. So I can see that. Right? So we got the Chariot here. I want to read this, and we're going to read this together, this part, before I go into this. This is, what is a starseed? The idea that we are children of the stars is as old as time itself. Seed of the other star system, other galaxies, other universes entirely, perhaps. We have chosen this tiny blue sphere, Earth, located in a distant quadrant from the center of our own Milky Way galaxy, to be birthed this time around. We have come not only to continue our journey of learning as we work through the karmic nodes of our many lifetimes, but also to bring more light into the density of the realm, a world of dualities, love and fear, joy and suffering, wisdom and ignorance. What an exciting time it is to be here, to have chosen this world in transition as our next step up the stairway of infinite return. Co-creators of all reality, we come in as light, sparks of divinity, keepers of ancient wisdom, and explorers of the new, knowing that the Akashic record holds all the knowledge and every single experience ever experienced in the cosmos of the soul. Carrying in our seed the codes of countless other worlds, we inseminate the goddess Earth Gaia with the eternal experience of all life in the universe. We share, receiving from our passing here, just as we contribute to the collective experience, our galactic heritage. We set out on this journey from light to density, encountering ourselves in the archetypes and these arcane keys of self-discovery and revelation. Where does this journey take us, and to what end? Who do we encounter along the way, and why? How do we see our own reflections in the shadow, and what great lessons are there to be made to shine in the light of our illumination? The tarot is an exquisite tool of self-discovery, as it is a vehicle of divination. Its powerful images stimulate the subconscious as they activate the pineal gland, the lighthouse of our conscious awareness. We learn the tools that this world provides us as starseed children manifest in form, and we are subtly guided to work with them for the highest good, for ourselves and for those who ask to be shown the way. We peer into the darkness as we gaze back at the stars, always remembering that we are starseeds awakening. Every step along the spiral of light takes us further along the pathways home to source, the God life from which we leap into the abyss and plunge into the density of the physical world to rise again at the end of the cycle of life like the phoenix. Pioneers, we hold in our hands a canvas upon which the designs of our immortal journey and depicted as images that have drawn upon the traditions of the past to breathe a new perspective into the sacred wisdom of masters who have come before us. Boldly, we stand at the dawn of a great shift in consciousness here and now on this beautiful sphere in the heavens. Let this unfolding touch you deep within your soul, where the memory of your star shines back to you, rippling gently over your ancestral waters into the collective experience of all beings. Okay, I never read that before. Thank you for sharing that with me. So, we're going to go to the Chariot, okay? Yeah. So here, one of the more difficult keys to interpret is the Chariots. Who is the Charioteer, and what is he racing toward? As Starseed journeys along the path of earthly existence, he or she realizes that there will be challenges to face, and that these may require independent action. Many are we who have come into body at this time as true spirit warriors, and the road can be treacherous. Darkness and light pull at the reins of our being as we race ahead, learning that it is our focused mind and intention that harness the forces driving us forward. Lord Krishna holds the reins, representing the proper use of the focused mind to train and master the senses. It reminds Starseed that when we connect to our higher mind with clarity of intent and purpose, we move forward in the light of divine guidance. personal little mini advert. You can subscribe for 99 cents to my @Enchantress, ENCHANTRESS. That's me, the one and only on Instagram, and receive hundreds of infinitely growing posts over there, things shared, countless DIY, strategy, recipes, tips, tricks into dealing with your own spiritual awakenings and revolution, evolution, and stuff like that. Up close and personals, other tarot reads exclusively shared all over there. No other places it's shared. Recipes, everything is good over there. So either way, that was it. And let me continue. Okay, sorry. All right, Enchantress, I said, right? Okay. All right, so our personal Krishna harnesses the forces that pull at the reins of our lives, darkness and light, and moves the chariot forward, always seeking resolution to the polarity of opposing forces. Our own darkness and light, our demons and our divinity. I'm going to read that again. Lord Krishna holds the reins, representing the proper use of the focused mind to train and master the senses. It reminds Starseed that when we connect to our higher mind with clarity of intent and purpose, we move forward in the light of divine guidance. Our personal Krishna harnesses the forces that pull at the reins of our lives, darkness and light, and moves the chariot forward, always seeking resolution to the polarity of opposing forces, our own darkness and light, our demons and our divinity. The chariot is the body vehicle through which mind, spirit, form are manifest. The horses represent the sensate tools in our own physical power that we utilize in our journey through life. The reins in the hands of Lord Krishna are the depiction of right mind, which direct the senses to move us forward. He reminds us that we are not alone in the mission of life and that we do always have divine guidance in our race towards our goals. Words associated with the chariot are focused, intent, determination, goal orientation, achievement, ambition, victory. To the querent, it says, go forward now and harness your desire with the higher consciousness, right? You always can access. Depending on the keys that come with it in a reading, this can be about relationships, business matters, or any other dream waiting to be made manifest, right? Because you're the master of that which you are creating, that you're making manifest. And you're realizing the journey is grueling. It's tough, especially in this earthly domain, right? Because chances are a lot of things are stacked up more so against you than for you. So it appears to be. Right? So it appears to be. Right? So words, all right, we said that. Yeah, we already said that. So questions to ask yourself, what am I racing toward? Am I entering into battle? And if so, how do I hold the reins in this situation? What is my intent upon achieving? What unseen forces represented in the full moon that illuminates the path of the charioteer are at work in this situation? What is my motivation? What is your motivation? Be honest. This is another stripping down naked. Remember, in your honesty, it ripples into the ethers. It ripples into our into the invisible layers of the world, and that's true. We need more truth. You know? Higher self. What is the higher self and how do we access it? Freud would have spoken of the subconscious, but Starseed delves deeper into that higher mind that each of us has the potential to source throughout our life experience. Join me. This is what we be on. This is what we be on. That's why a lot of my old friends that are no longer friends missing me. Yeah, cosmic quantum high. Exactly. Right? The priestess represented in this card is the aspect of ourselves that is the bearer of the hidden scrolls. The esoteric wisdom that lies in the still waters of our reflecting pools, our higher consciousness. Some might describe the scroll as the Akashic record, where all is written and recorded in universal memory. We have the ability to access that information when we silence the distracted, chattering mind and go deep into the silence of our souls. Zen. Here is located the entire wealth of experience of all that is, that ever was, and that always will be. Higher self is the well of esoteric knowledge, the knowing of the workings of the greater universe. It is the psychic vision, the intuitive sense, the mystery school of the soul, and the presence of the unseen forces of nature. It is the part of the querent that knows the truth. Ruled by the moon, the waters of higher self are illuminated in its glow, depicting the occult or hidden wisdom coming to light. We bear in mind that it is the moon that moves the tides of the great seas, gentle at times, crashing into the shores at others. Hence, the card can pretend misuse of the psychic realm that lies lurking in the waters. Balance is the key. Represented in the number 2, to which the major arcana card corresponds. When working with higher self, consider the following. What psychic vision is showing me the truth about the situation? How am I connecting to my higher self to find my answers? What hidden knowledge can I access when I still the mind? What occult forces are at play that I have yet to understand? Write those questions down. Have Virgo and Scorpio, Sag. Virgo, Scorpio, you can have that in your chart, Sag. Clean up, everybody, everywhere. Clean up. Now it's time to do your share. Right? All right. What words of empowerment do we have for the tapped in, turned on, tuned in right now to these messages? What words of encouragement, empowerment, strength can be gifted to the beautiful souls tapped in, turned on, tuned into these messages here? Thank you so much for meeting me here. Right? Oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do a little pick a card right now. Okay? I want you to pick your message. I'm going to do it too for me, okay? We do it together, right? We do it together. I love that. 1. Why are you screaming? Okay, we'll do 2. We'll do that 3. Okay? We'll do more and stuff like that, and all may apply. But just for these purposes, right? Oh my gosh. Did you see what I just did to myself? Because you know how for every single pick a card, I always go with the crystal that we were doing for the beginning, that we've been talking about in the thing, but I put the crystal on. Oh my gosh. Why would I do that to myself? Why? Why? Because I'm growing too. Okay, guys, this is hard. I mean, I'm gonna go with this one. Which one are you picking? Which one is gonna speak to you right now? All right. Are you ready? Okay, so if you chose this one, inner fucking strength, okay? I am powerful. I can change my life and set my path. I am an iceberg. Others only see the tip of an underwater mountain of inner strength. Ooh. Hey, that's powerful. If you chose this one, cosmic attraction. Bam. Hey, hey. I am a powerful star drawing success to myself like gravity. I pull from the cosmos everything I need to succeed. Isn't that amazing? Inner strength, cosmic attraction. Okay, and for those that chose this one, sacred fire. Here we go. You could even be a fire sign. Right? I am filled with passion. My energy is like a bonfire burning within. I feel energy flow through my being, and I focus this power to achieve my goals today. Oh my gosh. And I just remembered now something that I have forgot that we were doing before. And I was trying to tell you about me being reserved, and I was sharing my story about being reserved and all this kind of stuff, and the stripping down and the getting naked. So I was saying, go ahead, for those of you that are reserved like me, right? To go, oh my gosh, so there's right. So I teach yoga and stuff like that to children and things like that, and to adults too. But you know what I'm saying. But anyways, mostly like I like to highlight the children because I really enjoy teaching children's yoga, and so I'm grateful for having that, right? So with the kids, right? We do this chicken dance with this egg thing, right? So when we're doing the chicken dance and we're going like up and down our yoga mats, and we're flapping our chicken wings, and we're like bending our knees because we're going into that chicken squat, and we gotta go yes, we gotta sound like a chicken. And it's silly. And like if there's other teachers there, right, that are observing the class, because a lot of teachers don't participate in none of the yoga. They were like, or when they try, they give up like in like a couple of seconds. But it's great that they tried and they do and they try, or whatever the case may be. But it's just mostly just like me and the kids and stuff like that, right? So so it's funny, and I notice, and I know, and I'm just glad I'm in the place that I'm in, right? Because I would have been very shy about that. I would have never, like 10 years ago, no, I can go more, like 10, 15 years ago, I would have not been able to cock. If so, I would have been very like shy about it, reserved about it. So when I'm telling you right now, peacock, and I just go from there, peacock, and like, because you can and you will and you do, and laugh at yourself too, and just like look at yourself when you do it too, like, you know what I mean? So fuck it, like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck it, right? Just do you, laugh, be silly too. Like, this is coming from the girl that held her fucking laughter because people made fun of her giggles. So I wouldn't laugh out loud. No, I'm giggling all over the fucking place. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely. Let's see, what other words of empowerment do we have for the beautiful souls that are here to have to turned on? Oh, turned in. Candle of hope. Right? I am hopeful. Every day I make the choice to be positive, no matter what happens around me. I guard the flame of faith within. At the moment when all feels lost and I face a dead end, hope lights a new way. right? Remember, if you like that, what you see, and if I got it and stuff like that from my Amazon stuff, it would be in my Amazon affiliated shop. Definitely go check that out and use my Amazon affiliated shop links to purchase that what you see that you like, that I have showed you on my channel, especially if you are watching it. Thank you so much for being kind to use my Amazon affiliated shop to shop too, because I'm only sharing things that I actually like. I'm not going to put anything on there that I don't like or that I haven't used myself, honestly. You know what I'm saying? So definitely. What other beautiful messages do we have? Beautiful souls tapped in, turned on, tuned in. And remember, you can follow me too for free on Instagram at Enchantress, ENCHANTRESS. You can also go to my website for unique products and services, as well as my Muse in a Box experience, which is something very, very unique and very one of a kind. So you can definitely go check that out and go see how you can be a part of that too. Monthly subscription or one-time purchase as well at witchyutopian.com. Yep. And at Enchantress, I said ENCHANTRESS. That's me, the one and only, an alchemistic poetess on TikTok. Okay. What other beautiful messages do we have for you, beautiful souls? Tapped in, turned on, tuned in. A whole bunch, but no, we want only one card. Okay. Don't get funny. Don't get funny. Don't be funny. Smoke of sage. We can get some sage and we can light this page. But here we go. We got it in the card too. So it's just as good, boo. Here we go. Right? I am pure. The sweet smoke of sage purifies me. I am spiritually aware of the divine wisdom that surrounds me. I clear the air of conflict and I trust my healing intuition. We're going to do that. I feel called upon to light some sage up in this bitch. But the one that I got close to me right now, I feel called upon to light some sage up in this bitch, right? The one I feel called upon because I have dragon blood sage, right? This you can get at witchyutopian.com too. No, you can't. I don't think so. I forgot. I changed it all up, I think. But here we go. We're learning some dragon blood sage. Because we're burning down that which does not serve. Right? Okay. Any other words of empowerment for you beautiful souls tapped in, turned on to then my cats? Don't mind Andromeda. Andromedans are here. Sacred Journey and the Way. We got 2 cards. Okay. Sacred Journey and the Way. I am a brave explorer on a sacred journey. I do not let the expectations of others decide my future. I boldly explore my world to discover destiny. I look to the constellations of my heart to steer me. I love that. Sacred journey. The way. The way. You are the way. You are the way. The journey is the way. As I walk, I embrace the journey. I am present in every moment. I accept happiness as well as suffering. I appreciate the blessed ups of today while dreaming of the victories of a tomorrow. Internal garden. That's what I love to help others with, their DIY strategy of alchemizing their energy management, energy frequency vibration. This is part of my journey too, and how these techniques of lifelong practice that I do share, in coaching sessions and things like that. And 2 tips, tricks, like I said, for just 99 cents, you get a quantum bang for your buck at Enchantress, ENCHANTRESS, the subscription platform. It'll always remain 99 cents. It has nothing to do about money and everything to do with energy, respect, and the exchange of information that's being gifted. There has to be some kind of reciprocity in that. And so 99 cents will forever, not forever remain, but as long as I have that there, it's going to be 99 cents. It's just a token. It's a token to enter. It's a monthly subscription. I don't get any of your personal banking information or anything like that. That's between you and Instagram. But either way, for 99 cents, you get recipes, you get DIY strategy, you get a quantum bang for your buck. The cheapest coaching you're ever gonna freaking get, but it's DIY implemented, because you got to do it yourself, right? I don't want anybody codependent upon my energy, dependent upon me to make them feel good the way that I've been used and misused and abused. I don't need that anymore. So in my own personal journey of growth, of rising from the fucking ashes of of dying gruesome deaths and a zillion times, right? This is just what has worked for me and what I can see from my own gatherings of experience, personal, my own liberation, towards my own liberation. And I'm not fully I'm not saying, well, yeah, no, I can't. Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to talk about me. We're always going to be learning stuff in this lifetime of our lifetime. It's always going to be a learning experience. I'm never done learning. You know what I mean? But you can be done healing from pains that no longer apply. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't need to always be, I'm healing. Now you could be healed. For real, for real. Even though it could be a fucked up story. Even though it can, I have strong water in my chart, and so I'm a very emotional charged up being. So I cry for happy things, just the same way that I can cry talking about something from the past and all this kind of stuff, because it's the well of emotion that does exist. That doesn't take away the well of emotion that exists, but I'm no longer there. I'm not messed up from it. You get what I'm saying, and things like that. But it's the same way that I'll see something so cute and I'm like, that was so adorable. For real, tears streaming down my fucking face. You know what I mean? So, Andromeda. So what I'm saying is there is life without having to still keep healing. It's up to you though. Right? So I take time to tend to my internal garden. Hold on. She's gonna drive me crazy. So I just had an epiphany right now, right? And this comes from my own throat chakra clearing and sharing of what I had said about the monster before that I was with, that would torture me and say those kind of things. Oh, you want to save the world and all this kind of stuff. And what about me? And mind you, the epiphany that I just had was years. I'm talking about years, over 10 years ago. You gotta understand, this is a long time ago. This was before I was ever on social media. Now, mind you, the people that I was helping and that I will help, that's just because if you're tapped in, turned on, tuned in here, no matter when you started helping people and all this kind of stuff, I don't fucking care. What I'm trying to say is I have always been, that's just a humanitarian. I help those I love and I'm there for them and that. But the torture that I experienced years before I was ever even on social media, that was what he was yelling, you want to save the world and what about me, and this craziness, right? And it just dawned on me now that with this, how they say that always people can see before we see our potential, and those that are against it or opposed or enemies, that make themselves our enemies because they're jealous or whatever they want, they become competitive, and so they try to wipe you out before you see yourself. Do you get what I'm trying to say there? So like I had no idea about my social media presence years to come later. That wasn't even part of my agenda. But I have always been a humanitarian where I volunteer. I did hospice. Like I did, I was doing, that was when I was doing my hospice training too. That's, so you see what I'm saying? Sometimes the monster will see you before you see you, and they will do their job, which is to try to ruin that for you, because that's the evolution that they're on. So anyways, I'm going to read this one because I started to make coffee and I started munching on stuff and things like that, and I'll be right back. But the stove is on. So I take time to tend to my internal garden. I spend intentional time in meditation and self-care to cultivate my soul. Within myself, I grow the fruit I eat for sustenance. I love that. We'll read that one in a second. Candle of Hope we already got. Oh my goodness. And then another epiphany right now, but I'm still not done because the coffee is about to boil. Yeah, I do it from scratch. And so use a hanky too. But old school coffee. I make my coffee old school, and I prefer it no other way. Mushroom coffee. I made the total switch. But which then now look on social media, and then me having to evolve through the people ignoring me, but seeing everything that I do, and having to get through that double of monstrosity, that it's in another form. It's not violent, but it's silent but deadly. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness. Also, if you want to know what kind of mushroom coffee I'm using, you can definitely go check out my Amazon affiliated links so that you can try it too. Okay. Whenever the cards start repeating the same messages, that's when we give the deck a rest, right? But Candle of Hope, just again, I'm hopeful. Every day I make the choice to be positive, no matter what happens around me. I guard the flame of faith within. At the moment when all feels lost and I face a dead end, hope lights a new way. That's right. Every kind of way. So right. Okay, we're doing good. Right. So what can we do to better ourselves, to better our mind, to better our position, to work on our energy, to better manage ourselves and all that we do? Energy. What can we implement in our lives that would be beneficial, helpful, useful, much more healthier? Here we go. There we go. Going beyond. Having routines and habits that feel familiar and safe is a good thing. But when we get too comfortable, our lives can start to feel stagnant. When this happens, the unknown may be causing our mindsets to flip into an overprotective mode where thoughts from unhealed wounds can get significant airtime. What if I make a fool of myself? Indeed, entering into the unknown can involve risk. However, the rewards are often worth the temporary discomfort. This week, notice how your mindset may be keeping you stuck. Reframe from these thoughts and start to expand your comfort zone by taking small, sensible risk, personal growth, goal achievement, and infinite possibilities are often waiting just beyond our comfort zones. So that's what I meant about the peacock and the chicken. But go outside. Go outside, and like if you're standing in front of your house and then somebody walks by, be like, if that's too much, when you're driving your car and you're about to drive away, lower your window into the car next to you, be like, and then drive away. Just do something beyond yourself that's really ridiculous and start just loosening up. I have you been tapping in, tuning in with me with my 60-second videos and my 3-minute videos of loosening up with stretch, dance, what else? Breathing exercises. All of this is free. I'm not asking you for anything. But definitely you can use that time, that space, that energy of alchemy, right? To be supportive to you, for you. When you surround yourself with energies that are actually in those alchemies. That's one way to test it too. If you're still surrounding yourself around energies that have you feeling some type of way about being, granted, you might, if you're still working on healing and insecurities and things like that, and you find yourself in the presence of someone that you're looking at is like better than you and stuff like that, hopefully that person is not like in their ego where they'll take advantage of or misuse your admiration and stuff like that. Hopefully they're in beyond their ego where that they can work with you in terms of helping you to appreciate that what you see is also what you are. You get what I'm saying, right? So indeed, entering into the unknown can involve risk. However, the rewards are often Indeed, entering into the unknown can involve risk. However, the rewards are often worth the temporary discomfort. This week, notice how your mindset may be keeping you stuck. Refrain from these thoughts and start to expand your comfort zone by taking small, sensible risks. Personal growth, goal achievements, and infinite possibilities are often waiting just beyond our comfort zones. What amazing thing is waiting for you? Do at least one stretch each day this week to find out. I love that. Come stretch your love with me too. So definitely I'm going to make a playlist of my stretching, dancing and stuff like that so that it's just an easy go-to space and things. Oh, yeah. Now I got the hiccups. That's funny. That's funny. I'm sorry. I just can't help myself. All right. Go beyond. Okay. What are your sacred wealth codes, right? Let's do that. I haven't used these on here in a long ass time. Remember, if you like anything, go to my Amazon affiliated links, okay? And if there's ever anything that you have a question about, you feel free to ask, okay? What is your beautiful divine sacred wealth code? Let's go. Right? What is your divine wealth code? The Magician. I am master, manifester. This goes back to that mastering your crystals, right? So you are acquisitive, alternative, right? So these are just this Rahu energy, right? And that's the crow up in there too, right? Intelligent, conscious, creative, magical, intuitive, inventive. These are words associated with this card. Technical, artistic, dynamic, psychological, synthesizing, eccentric, charismatic. That'd be you. What else are you? Beautiful. Yes, you are. You are so beautiful. Yes, you are. There we go. The teacher. That's right. That's right. Don't let a mofo be like, who are you? Who you think you is? Who you think you is telling me what? That's why to know is to grow. Knowledgeable, intelligent, growth-oriented, trustable, understanding, communicative. Communicative. Every video, we say we're gonna find a word that I can't say. Communicative, compassionate, prosperous, social, inspired, self-aware, generous, considerate, virtuous, Jupiter, Meridian energies, right? I'm always, right, a student for life, but we also are teachers. For those of you tapped in, turned on, tuned in with me, people can learn from you, and that's part of sometimes their stubbornness. They don't want to see, no, I don't want that one to tell me anything, right? The leader, look at that. The sun energy, I lead from the heart. Confident, brilliant, purposeful, courageous, committed, authentic. We're going to be louder than Andromeda. Positive, inspiring, passionate, empowered, visionary, vital, integrous, trustworthy, right? What else, baby? What else, beautiful souls? What are the beautiful souls? What are the beautiful souls? Their secret world closed. Their codes closed. Can't even talk. Okay. Oh, teacher, when we start repeating what I said, we put it away, right? Okay. Oh, I gotta start speeding this up. I really do. You have no idea. All right, we're gonna end this because I haven't used this, and since we were doing that, we're gonna be doing this. But you know that I love these, and they always have something powerful to share. So, what are our quantum messages at this time that's gonna help our evolution? What are our evolutionary messages for those tapped in, turned on, tuned in? What messages do we have? Homesickness. Okay. Oh, 2 came out. Natural humility and homesickness. Okay, but I guess that's how they want me to see it. So we're gonna go, this is the past, okay, and this is the future. That's why, okay. Makes sense. I'm like, they want me to see like this first, past, future, homesickness, natural humility, right? 22, you could be 22 years old, you could be life path number 4, you could have a life path number 2, you could have a life path number 6, life path number 9. You could have been born in 1969, 1996. Could be significant to you. It doesn't have to be. Okay. You could have been born on the 4th of the month, 4th of the day, 6th of the month, 6th of the day, 9th of the month, 9th of the day. 2 of the month, 2 of the day. Sorry, I was drinking some of my coffee. Right? So past, Vega, right? Homesickness. The early vegan mystics retained clear memory of the source from which they fragmented, but as eons passed, that memory faded and was replaced by a profound yet vague feeling of homesickness. One reason why they were so devoted to their spiritual practices was to recapture that feeling of being connected to the source. Even though they understood the reasons for physical existence, there was an underlying desire to return home. If you have this feeling, know that it is an ancient one. It requires you to embrace physical reality as it is before you can return home. This is an important lesson. Like, even for me as a little girl, that's how I felt. I felt like literally, and it makes sense now when I think about that. Like, I got scolded so many times because whenever they would introduce me to somebody new, I would introduce myself as Jennifer, and saying and I had this whole creation story, right? And that Jupiter, that they dropped me off, right? The aliens dropped me off and were supposed to come back and get me, and for some reason they have not returned, but I was thankful, so they sent me my sister, who we found in the garbage can. Sometimes this was well received. It was always well received by the other parties, but sometimes not by my dad really at all. Well, like, he'd be like, Trevor, like, like, stop it. But this was my creation story because I was homesick for land that I did not know but felt like I missed from something, because this can't be it. So you understand? So for whoever that kind of relating, for So many people on Earth today have a feeling of homesickness, as if Earth isn't home and their true home is somewhere else, right? And maybe that's you too. While it is easier to believe that this home is another star system with a better society, the underlying homesickness is much deeper than that. It is a longing for belonging and unity, a reflection of our true state of, you heard the ambulance just passed by. Yeah. A reflection of our true state of existence as one unified being in creation, looking through an infinite number of eyes. As humans, it can be hard to remember this true unified state, which exists simultaneously with the illusion of separation, while seeing all the hate and confusion on Earth at this time. Trying to heal the feeling of homesickness by going somewhere else or living a different life is only a temporary fix. And drive it up! And drive it up! What is your problem? We give her what she wants. And then she'll go and start screaming. There's nothing wrong with her. There's nothing wrong with her. She's healthy. Trust me, I've taken her to the vet for just to make sure, just to have peace of mind that she's just loud sometimes and she's vocalized and stuff. And granted, they're not fixed and anything like that. And I'm not going to do that to them. So when they go through their own cycles of emotion, they go through their own cycles of emotion. And this is one of her emotions. She just sometimes really likes to express herself. And it is what it is. Anyways. Andromeda, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. You want lovins? Come here. You want lovins? She want lovins. So maybe that's, yeah. See, I could cry because we want love. We all want love. We all want to be accepted. We all want to be understood. But that's going to start with ourselves. Like, there's not going to be no understanding without innerstanding. Ugh. There's not going to be no... I got to write that down. Ugh. Hold on, I gotta get up. Come here. Come here. There is no understanding without understanding. Comprende? Right? I gotta start going. So what are you doing, you crazy cat? What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, so the past. Trying to heal the feeling of homesickness by going somewhere else or living a different life is only a temporary fix. It never truly fills the emptiness. The only true home is inside of us, for that is where the source of all creation lies. If you have these feelings in your life, it is strongly suggested you begin practicing silent meditation. Definitely tap in, turn on, tune in with me. I give it for just 99 cents, loads of DIY strategy that is very beneficial to your whole mind, body, heart, and soul evolutionary journey, especially if you struggle in these departments of energy of peace. Let me help you master your energy. Okay. On some real shit. It's It's real. There ain't no fake and no funk. And it's learning to navigate in these spaces that might not be the most comfortable, but you could do it. Let me help you paradigm shift that. Right? So, all right. So if you have these feelings in your life, I strongly suggest that you begin practicing silent meditation where you can reconnect with sacred source inside of you. Only then can you feel at home wherever you are. I love that. Right? So 69. Right? Natural humility. The ancient Lyrian trait of arrogance eventually transformed into a beautiful trait of natural humility. This humility is not one of low self-worth, but instead it acknowledges that all beings, including the self, are equal in the eyes of the universe, and no one is more special than another. I love this. This natural humility represents a balanced ego and is essential for the transformation of a species. Look within. Begin the process of knowing that all beings in the universe are equal to you, even the Buddha. Watch how this thought can be one of arrogance, a profound humility. Therein lies the lesson. And that goes kind of like what I was saying about when my attitude, just think about the levelings of stripping, right? Down into that core sense of raw, right? Where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna rip up a new asshole, and to you don't deserve that. That's two different people, but yet it's the same. You know what I'm saying? So this Lyrian time stream represents the Lyrian culture after they healed their karma and the challenges of the past when they were a young species. And that's the journey you're on. I love it. Okay. So one of the most profound challenges of the immature Lyrian species in the past was arrogance. After much self-observance and practices of generosity, they transformed their species to one that embodied a powerful humility that was natural and authentic. Most planetary species have to make this transition in order to enter the galactic community. Humans on Earth as species, not as individuals, have not yet begun this process with full commitment. The development of this trait comes from viewing reality as a holistic unit rather than us and them. If this card came up in your reading, it could mean many things depending on the surrounding cards in your life situation. It could mean that you are already expressing this trait. It may mean that you need to look at the world in a more holistic way, embrace the connectedness of all beings, and surrender the view of separation in order to develop your natural humility more completely. Be honest in your self-observations and open to the messages from your higher self about what this card really means to you. Love that. And so it is. Till next time, please do come again.